Let's talk about this brand new Gen 2 Audi RS3 LMS TCR. First thing we're going to notice is the updates, obviously. The 2022 car comes with a much more aggressive front styling based on the 2022 RS3. The other thing we'll notice, as always, with a TCR and factory-built race car, much wider. We notice these wider fender flares, a new update for aero as well. We have similar front splitter that we had on the first gen car, but obviously that air coming around it starts to change to make it a little bit more aerodynamically efficient at high speed. Hopefully this will be a big benefit to us when we get to Daytona. The next thing you'll notice is slight changes to the styling along the side, an improved side skirt, and then a longer opening arch over those rear fender flares. If you notice around towards the back side, that new rear wing design as well, a little bit better aero for us, providing a little more downforce as well. Looking at the front hood, two side vents on each side of the hood as opposed to the one singular vent to be able to extract the air out of that intercooler and out of the engine bay. Now let's take a look inside the engine bay. Aero catches on the new hood, nice addition to the new car. Now inside the engine bay, we're running the same, roughly the same engine, slight changes to the motor itself, but Audi's updated the car with the new Hewland 6-speed sequential gearbox as opposed to the SADEV and the DSG from the previous generation. As Audi says, we're expecting to get much more mileage out of this motor and gearbox, meaning we don't have to service it quite as often throughout the season. It also gives us more serviceability, so we can change the fluids in that gearbox and take a look between race weekends without having to pull the engine and gearbox out of the car. We'll also notice from the engine bay, our inside fender liners are made out of carbon fiber. No more of that plastic that we used to have. They used to get beat up. Switch to a carbon fiber, a little bit more strength inside that engine bay, and obviously lighter components. Inside the rear of the car, now our tub is roughly the same as the previous generation car. Very similar fuel cell system, so our components will work from the previous gen to the new gen. However, some of the bigger changes we've noticed are what's inside the car. Much better ergonomics for the driver, a little bit more developed button box here with information and controls that the driver needs to be aware of. We have this beautiful new MPI Max Pappas Industries steering wheel with buttons and telemetry inside here, as well as the updated ECU Masters telemetry system inside the car. One big change we're seeing across multiple platforms in TCR racing is a similar ECU. Now TCR is encouraging manufacturers to use a similar ECU. So we've got the Magneti Marelli ECU now equipped in the Gen 2 cars. Very similar platform to multiple other manufacturers. Makes it easier for series to be able to control competition and BOP amongst the cars. Seating in general hasn't changed much. Same carbon fiber GT seat that we saw in the Gen 1 car. However, we've got an update to the Say-Belt harnesses here, which actually seem to work very well for endurance purposes. We'll likely be keeping these in the car for Daytona. But let's be honest, we can talk about specs all day. I'm a driver, and I'm really just looking forward to getting this beast on track.